the Dog Witch podcast, where we help you create happy, healthy, and relaxed dogs.
Hi there, and welcome to the latest edition of the Dog Witch podcast with me, your host, Lisa McCabe. Today, I am joined by the lovely Promise from Beauty Splendour. Hi, Promise, how are you?
Hi, Lisa. I am doing great today. Woke up this morning, felt amazing in my body. I wanted to do quite a lot of stretch, so that was really good. I did a yoga sequence and I felt great, even
Oh,
after the
amazing.
chaos, after the school run chaos of the morning. But I'm good. I feel great this morning. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Thank you so much for joining us. I am so excited to find out about your amazing business. Could you just introduce it to us and tell us a little bit about it?
Okay, so first and foremost, I always like to be a person first before the business comes about. So I am Promise
Yeah,
Okoye.
totally.
I'm a multidimensional human being having an experience, a creative experience in this world. So that is me first before my business, because my business is just one part of me. And yes,
Mhm.
I'm happy to say I'm a serial entrepreneur and an investor. And I also am a luxury hair braiding salon owner. So that is me. And that salon is Beauty Splendor. Beauty Splendor is it's more than just a salon, and it's just more than Afro hair braiding services. It's a community, it's a platform, it's a place where people come and feel confident in themselves, embrace themselves, and see themselves for who they are. So it is way more than just a braiding hair salon.
That sounds absolutely amazing. I love that idea of community and just kind of, bringing confidence to who you are. So I mean, it's probably a silly question, but how did you get into this? Like, how did that path come to
Oh.
you?
It all started from being 6 years old. I was 6 years old when I found the love for braiding. So just imagine a 6 years old girl playing with her doll, and all of a sudden she
Yeah.
started braiding her doll's hair. And that was how the love for braiding started for me. It was something that came from just love for, as a hobby, literally a hobby. And that just gradually progressed over the years with me doing my mom's hair, my sister's hair, my friend's hair, doing the prom in high school. Everyone wanted me to do their for prom in high school. And then obviously, I didn't even know it was something that was needed until I moved to Scotland. I moved to
Okay.
Aberdeen, and then I realized there was only one Afro hair salon in the whole of Aberdeen.
Right,
And
okay.
it was not just catering for protective styling. It was more of chemical treatments, more of heat treatments like silk press, relaxers, and all of that. And I was at the time in my journey of wanting protective styling, I was so done with my hair breaking out through from relaxers and heat processing. I was done with all of that. So it was just an era where when I came into Aberdeen, it was just an era where I was in my protective hairstyling journey. And then there was nobody that was offering that service in Aberdeen. And then I realized, there is something here that keeps calling my name. There was something here I need to answer. I need to listen. Again, I did not want to do hair at all because it was a hobby and it was something that I kind of disconnected from me because at the time I studied biochemistry. So
Right, okay.
I just had my bachelor's degree, and I was wanting to kind of venture into maybe going into the NHS, be kind of behind the scene sort of person, working with blood samples, urine samples, and all the stuff you don't want to deal with in real life. But it was boring. It was not me. I wanted to do something different. So while I was in Aberdeen, that kept calling my name. You need to do something. There is a niche here. You need to do something. There is a niche here. So that was how I just said, you know what? I'm gonna try it and see how it goes. If it flops, then that's me. I'm back to my job search. But it just grew organically. Like it was just one word of mouth to another, one word of mouth to another, one word of mouth to another. Everyone was just like, oh my God, who's done your hair? Promise. Who's done your hair? Promise. Who's done your hair? Promise. And before you know it, I was still a student studying cosmetology in Aberdeen because that was what brought me here. Before you know it, my Saturdays was kind of lining up with people because that was the only day I could give for
Right,
like
okay.
my, yeah, for anybody to kind of do their hair. Everyone was wanting promise, 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 promise. So actually braiding found me. I did not know I was going to do this. Even when I told my mom I was going to be doing hair, she was like, I didn't send you to school to do hair.
Yeah, that's so interesting because your journey is very very similar to mine. I
Really?
I went to university and I did because everyone that knows me now thinks that I've always worked with dogs, and that's not the case. For a
Wow.
long time, I worked in property and property management, and yeah, I went to university and I got my degree, and then I went on and did my postgrad diploma, and I worked in property for a long time, but like you were saying, it wasn't me. It made me miserable. It made me unwell, actually.
Wow.
And dogs just kept, I mean, we had dogs all my life. And, I absolutely adored them. And I was, as a hobby, I was always finding out more about them and about how they worked and about their brain and stuff. And eventually in 2009, I was off work unwell. I was really unwell with stress and anxiety and stuff. And my own dog Ziggy went out with a dog walker at the time, and he said to me, "Why don't you come out with me and just get fresh air?" And it was back then there was no kind of like regulations, so it was like me and him and about 12 dogs, and it
Oh,
was the
wow.
best day of my life. Honestly, I had a ball, and I came home that night and I said to my husband, I was like, I really want to become a dog walker. And he didn't have that kind of reaction. He was just like, "Yeah, I'll support you, whatever you want to do." But my mum and dad were like, "Your mum, like, what? You've gone to university, you've spent all that money." It's just like, and now you're going to go and walk because dog walking wasn't a thing back then. So it was such a new concept. But like you, I was just so lucky that I got recommended through word of mouth, and yeah, and my business kind of just exploded over the years. And yeah, and it was actually the pandemic that made me think about all the holistic stuff and about the nutrition and about the health and well-being. For years I had been trying to put that into my business, but I hadn't quite got there because I was so busy like working in the business that I wasn't able to work on it, the balance. So the pandemic kind of came round at the right time for me, and at that point, I realised that that's where my passion was. I really wanted to help people understand their health, their dog's health and well-being, and I created a whole new business around it. So it's crazy, isn't it? Our journeys have been very similar.
Yeah.
So obviously you've been doing this a long time, and your passion, seeps through. I mean, how long have you actually been doing this?
Right. Okay. So if I say I've been doing this for 25 plus years, you would not believe me, but that is it because I am 37 at the moment and I've been doing it since I was six. So
No, I mean totally. That's me. But people say, "Oh, how long have you worked with dogs?" And I'm like, "My dad got me a dog when I was a baby. That was my
exactly.
present from my dad. I mean, it's what every newborn baby wants, right?" He
Exactly.
came and he got me a dog.
But I've done this professionally, like seeing clients since 2011. So that will be 15 years now. Yeah.
Amazing, and you're still like so passionate about it, and that's
Yeah.
what I love. It's, as you say, it's a calling, it's a vocation, and it's the same with me. Like with dogs. I mean, last night my husband and I went for a coffee, and coming out there was a dog in the cafe, and he was just so excited to see me, and he hadn't been like that with anyone else. His mum had said, "Oh, you must be a dog person." I'm like, "Yeah." They just know, and that
Wow.
it's just so amazing. And what what would you say, like what do you love about your job? Obviously there's the giving the confidence and stuff, but what is it that lights you up?
What lights me up is just seeing how clients come in and then they come in with maybe sad face or I just feel miserable or I just have had a really tough time or I'm preparing for a holiday that is so much more needed and I just want to get my head on. And then watching them come in as a totally different person when they walk out of the door. They feel great. They feel, for me, it's just the transformation that goes on within those hours sitting on the chair to when from the beginning they sit on the chair to when they leave. For me, it's just the transformation that goes on within those few hours of sitting in the chair that just lights me up all the time. I just see them. I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe you're that same person that sat on this chair just a few hours ago. And then you're leaving with so much pop, with so much life, with so much confidence, with so much. And so many women do not have time to look at the mirror
Oh, yeah,
and look
definitely.
stare themselves at on the mirror for so long. So my chair or the salon chair gives them the opportunity to sit in front of the mirror, look at themselves exactly as they are for such maybe 2, 3 hours appointment or 4 hours appointment. Sometimes the hairstyles can go up to 6 hours appointment. So just imagine Lisa looking at yourself in the mirror for 6 hours.
I know it would be. I know, and that's can you kind of talk us through the different styles that you do? Because obviously, I'm like very basic. I can do, your basic braid and that's it. So can you talk us through like the different types?
Okay, so braiding comes in different form, shape. Like there's so much more versatility right now with braids. So from your normal basic three-strand plaits, which is like everybody pretty much know what three strands are. And then there's two-strand twists. And then there is Dutch braids, French braids, and then gradually we move to box braids. And then from
Uh,
box braids, we moved to knotless braids. And then from knotless
okay.
braids, it gets even more complicated. You're now adding boho hair, which is like the goddess braids. And then it gets even more complicated because you now add Fulani braids. So there's so many different styles, and each one comes with its own individuality as well, because every client is so different that they want a twist to whatever they want. So it's very versatile. And my stand, especially doing a lot of protective styling, is we're keeping the hair protective at all time. So we
Okay.
are not just compromising the protective styling parts for just how it should look. Because
Uh,
everybody comes with different technicality in braids, but I'm not just all about the looks. The looks, it's like a bonus part. But what I'm into is the health of the hair. Are we actually doing protective styling here, or are we just making this client look good? I do
yeah.
not want to compromise on the health of the hair. So that is what I preach, and that's what I stand for anytime, any day. It's if we call it protective styling, it should be protective styling.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%. And that's like mind blowing to me because there's just so much more involved. And I think like you come at it from a place of I suppose like holistic well-being like I
Holistic,
do.
yes, yes.
For me it's all very much about, the dog's health and well-being and like protecting your dog from the inside out. And that's I suppose what you're doing with people's hair. And that to me that's just like a total new concept because you do get people who will take risks and they won't look after the health of the hair and stuff and like my daughter and my daughter's got very very thick curly red hair. You think like Merida from Brave, that's her hair, like really
Wow.
and we just could not get it under control. And we'd gone to the same hairdresser for years and years and years, and everything that they were telling me to do, I was doing, but I just could not get her hair under control. And one of the hairdressers actually moved on and started up her own practice. And we've been going to her now for about 2 years. And the health of our hair is totally like amazing. We just took on her recommendations of products to use, and we go to her every 3 months. And yeah, the health, and each time she's just, I think she's really proud of herself. She's just like, look at
Oh,
the health of your hair. Your hair is amazing. You know,
oh,
I'm in my 40s now. I'm 43 and I don't really have any grey at all. And she keeps saying to me, it's because you keep your hair so healthy and because you look after it. So that's so important, because it's so important for us as women to feel confident within ourselves. Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
Is there anything that you don't like about your business?
Whew. I think the calls, just answering, picking up the calls, picking up the phone, and back and forth with clients. That's something I really did not like about my business, but that was a really good solution I came up with. I think last year, this time last year, I came up with that solution, and I was like, these would help a lot because prior to now, I've hired two staff that have been working
Oh,
alongside me. However, last year, so the end of 2024, so I can't believe it's not last year anymore. I can't believe we're in 2026, the end of 2024. Yeah, so both of them, I had to let one go 2023 and then one left 2024. So I've been working solo now for the last 2 years. I can't believe it. Jesus. So when I started working back with myself alone in the salon, I then realized, okay, there's some admin stuff that I don't want to do because usually before the girls used to just pick the call, take the calls, book people in and out. But now they are no longer in the picture. I need to delegate somehow. I was not
yeah.
able to hire more staff because at the end of I was just trying to restructure the business again. So I had to delegate to AI receptionist. So AI receptionists take my calls, send links to booking, answer any FAQs and all of those things. That was something I did not like in the business. Or people messaging back and forth. I had to set like a booking system in place as well. So I don't have to deal with, oh, I don't have that day available. Or please, can you check, okay, what other day do you have available? Back and forth with clients. I need to preserve my energy and my time,
Yeah.
and I needed to outsource that again. So I have a scheduling system now, which is very good and very efficient. And I also have an AI receptionist that pick up my calls. So they can call
Amazing.
24/7 and she picks it up. And it's so
Oh,
nice.
amazing. Amazing. It does make such a difference, doesn't it? When, I've had the big business, I've had staff, I've had outsourced and all the rest of it. And yeah, and that almost broke me. So I had to kind of and bring everything back in, and it's now just me. And obviously I will never have staff ever again. But like that, I outsource to like that, freelance other female entrepreneurs who do the bits, like, the back end of my website. If I touch something, I break it. So I have the amazing Claudia who does all. I mean, my website is beautiful, and that's down to Claudia. She does all of that. She tells me not to touch anything because I will break it. If I've got any questions, I go to her. But I think it's funny because we're so in the zone of our own genius, and the stuff that we love, that when it comes to the stuff that we hate, we're a bit like, oh, but if we can outsource that, as you
Yeah.
say, you protect your energy, and then you can give so much more to your clients as well, which is absolutely wonderful. So it has been brilliant chatting to you and finding out just so much more about braids and what exists in the world. Is there
Exactly.
anything that you've got coming up, anything that you'd love to tell the audience about?
Yeah, so I have been doing workshops for since September last year, and there are a few of workshops coming up. Taster workshops and Braid Beginner workshops are coming up, and so the first one is Taster workshop coming up in May 3rd. That's fully booked now, so there is nothing available to book. And the next one is June 7th. And
Okay.
also, that's the taster workshop. And the next one for the Braid Beginner workshop. So after the taster workshop, we have the Braid Beginner workshop. So that's the next version of if you want to dive more into braiding and you want to learn more hairstyles and more skills, that's the Braid Beginner workshop, and that's coming up June 28th. So if you are interested in learning how to braid your own hair, braid your kids' hair, braid your loved one's hair, or you want to learn braiding as a professional thing, then the braid workshops would be so helpful for you to build your confidence and build your skill. And also, if you need pretty much looking good in braids and you're so done with pretty much getting heat and chemical damage from your hair, protective hairstyling is the best thing ever to help protect your hair. And then you can book an appointment with us. And like I said, we have really good booking system. It's so easy, like a click on the button to book your appointment with us. So
Amazing.
yeah,
Amazing. So obviously I will add in all your details in the show notes as well, but where can people find you, Promise? Where?
people can find me on Instagram. I'm an Insta girl. Can find me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok now. I'm trying my best to be visible on TikTok. So yeah, those are
Brilliant.
the main places you can find me and the business. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, as I say, I will add all of your details into the show notes, but it has been brilliant talking to you. Thank you so much for coming on, Promise.
Thank you so much, Lisa, for having me here. It's been like an amazing pleasure to just, chit chat with you. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and having a chat. As I say, if you are interested in anything that Promise has to offer, just check out the show notes and you will find her details there. And I'll see you on the next episode. Take care. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the latest edition of the Dog Witch podcast. Don't forget to tune in to our next episode soon.